So last Friday in the BloodHound Workshop, we built a signal that would fire off at a specific time of day. And that was a part of a question for BlackBird. So the same customer has BlackBird as well, and they wanted to know how to plug that into BlackBird. So we'll do that now. All right, so we want to go to the signals area right here, right? And you'll notice that there's you can bring in BloodHound signals or any other regular indicator signals. So an indicator-based signal could be any indicator from some third-party vendor. To give an example, Golden Zone Trading, GZT, they have some indicators that will provide trade signals that you can plug right into BlackBird. Lucrum Trading has a flagship indicator that provides trade signals that will plug right into BlackBird. Indicator Warehouse, we have a webinar coming up with them this month, and they have some indicators that will plug right into BlackBird and provide trade signals. So you can just use the generic indicator-based signals. But this question pertains to a BloodHound signal that we built last Friday. So we'll select that and then click on the pull-down menu again. And first thing we want to do is we want to load our BloodHound template. So we'll click on the little ellipses button there. And you can see it brings up the BloodHound interface. So we'll have to go to File, and we'll load up last week's. Let's see. There we go. Yeah, that is last Friday's BloodHound Workshop. So 02 February 24th. Let's load that up, and just to make sure, I'm going to take a look at the logic templates. There you go. Signal at 9:32 a.m. That's the signal that I want. That's what was built last week. I don't want to go into great detail because this is not a BloodHound Workshop, but the way it's connected right now, this solver is set up to provide signals in both directions, a long or a short. I added a bar direction so that we can get a trade signal in only one direction here. So I need to connect the AND node up. So there we go. I'm going to connect it to that AND node, and then we'll be good to go. All right. So I have the BloodHound file loaded into Raven, and next I'm going to go down to the signal at 9:32. And I'll select that as my logic template, and I'll lock it in. If you have a system that has a lot of different types of signals, built into your BloodHound system, you can use you can select the Use Chart pull-down menu. So if I leave this selected, what that means is you'll see that once I get this all set up, and close out, click the OK button, close out, you'll notice that a BloodHound button and pull down menu will be placed up here on the charts toolbar area, and you can use the BloodHound pull down menu from the menu to select which of these logic templates BlackBird will take trade signals from. Right, so this use pull down menu gives you a lot of flexibility, allows you to select whichever logic template you wish to trade, and you can just change that on the fly just by simply using the pull down menu that gets added to the button area up here on the chart. So, but these others here are not really trade signals per se. They were just workshop questions. So I'm going to lock it into this signal here just by selecting it. So, okay, next thing is we'll just have to generate we'll have to generate some profit targets and stop losses here. So I'll just pick something real simple just to get going. Okay. And so basically I'm all done. I've set up my BloodHound signal. I set up my OCO, my order set here. A simple 10 tick profit and 10 tick stop loss, basically, and I'm good to go. So now you'll notice BloodHound is not on the chart yet. So NinjaTrader requires that we have to refresh the Ninja script in order to allow BlackBird to put BloodHound on the chart. We have to refresh the chart. That's a requirement from NinjaTrader. So NinjaTrader doesn't do things on the fly like our software can. NinjaTrader always requires like a refresh. So, all right, and then I'll set BloodHound up to display our signal here, and there we go. There's our signal at 9:32. So, let's see. And we wanted to see some backtest results here. So let's see. Okay, I got 5 days of data, so I should be able to get 5 trades in from this. So in order to get some backtest results, I'll have to change my settings for BlackBird here. So let me just kind of show you. So right here, I have for BlackBird, I have backtest mode. I have it turned off. So I always turn it off because BlackBird will load up a lot faster if it's not having to do backtest results. So so I just need to set this to true, and then we can get some backtest results. So to do that, a good practice is to use the flatten everything button here on the control center. So that will shut down my strategy and close out any positions properly. All right, so this it's a nice little safeguard from NinjaTrader. So it's a good safeguard to be, when you're shutting everything down here. Okay, so now that I have BlackBird turned off, now I can go back in here, and now you'll notice everything it's not grayed out anymore. So I can go in here and turn my backtest results back on, and then enable the strategy again and click OK. And now I have some backtest results. Right, so there we go. We can see this trade here. This trade was a winner. And if I scroll back, let me scroll way back. There we go. All right, and looks like we got a little, we got stopped out to the tick there. Darn, stopped out to the tick, and then the market just took off. That could have been a good trade. And let's see here. We'll just go take a look at one more. Another good trade there. So, all right, and of course, if you want to take a look at the the backtest results, NinjaTrader provides, NinjaTrader has their strategy performance there that you can take a look at. And let's see, total number of trades 4. So it took 4 trades. I would have thought it would have took 5, but I guess I didn't have enough data going far enough back. Well, actually, today's Thursday, so there wouldn't have been a trade on Sunday. So Monday through Thursday would be 4 trades, so that looks correct. So, and so it looks like it was a break even. Looks like we got 2 winners and 2 losers. So percent profitable 50%. So 2 winners and 2 losers. Anyways, this is definitely not a complete system here, but just demonstrating the back test there for Craig. All right, I think that does it. All right, so Craig has a follow-up here. What about exiting at a specific time of day? Yeah, so two ways to do that. So one way is you can use the scheduler built into BlackBird. So let me pull something up here. So let's just bring up the regular trading hours, right? So from 9:30 to 4 p.m. Eastern time. And you'll notice that BlackBird has this setting right here, right? Force trades to exit. So, so right now the default setting is 30 seconds before the session ends. So if we look at our session times here, they all end at 4 p.m. That's when the market closes. So BlackBird would force any trades to exit 30 seconds before the session ends. So if the session ends at 4 p.m., then when 3:59 and 30 seconds comes by, BlackBird is going to close out any open trades. So that's one way to do it. But at the same time, this also applies a restriction to the entries as well. So BlackBird would only place new trades between the hours of 9:30 a.m. and 4 p.m. Eastern time. Right. So this really isn't, this forced trades to exit really isn't designed to exit at a specific time, but you can see it does exit at a specific time. So it's not really designed to, say, exit my trade at 12. It can't do that, but then at the same time, BlackBird would not for example, if I changed my session time, from 9:30 a.m. to noon, then sure, BlackBird would exit the trade at noon, but it wouldn't take any more trades for the rest of the day, because you can see that, right, our allowed trade time stops at noon time. So BlackBird wouldn't take any more trades for the rest of the day, right? So while this is one way to exit trades at a specific time, there are some strings attached and some limitations there. So another way to exit at a specific time would be, if you're using BloodHound, you can use an exit signal template. So I don't actually have an exit signal, but I could use this one as an example. So let's say, let's just say I build a BloodHound system, and I'm using this full body candle logic template as my entry signals, and then I could build a exit template, and I could use my BloodHound logic template to exit me at a specific time. Right, so you could just take this signal at 9:32, make a copy of that, and make a copy of the solvers, and just change the BloodHound solvers inside to exit, to generate a signal at a specific time that will exit a trade there. Right, so that's one way of doing it. This is probably the better way of doing it, is using BloodHound to generate a exit signal at a specific time. Right, just the same way that you can use BloodHound to generate an entry signal, you can also generate an exit signal at a specific time. So that is one way to do it. So let me just kind of put that back the way it was, and let's see, let me find another way to do this. So I'm going to see if there's another way trailing rules here that we can do that. Yeah, here's one way. So here's another way. So if you know exactly when your trade is going to be placed, so, right? So in our example, we know that we're going to get an entry at 9:32. So if you know the exact time, then let's see here, move that to custom, there we go. So if you know the exact time you're going to get into a trade, then you could use the delay option here, and we can use seconds or minutes, so let me just put it to minutes. So let's say we wanted to close the trade out 30 minutes after it's been placed. So so let's say if the trade doesn't exit on its own, like if the market doesn't hit your profit target or stop loss within a half an hour, you just want to get out, just close the trade and let's get on to the next trade. Then you could take your stop loss and set up a delay of however many minutes you want it to be, and that's all you need to do. And what it's going to do is, the default action here is it's going to move your stop loss to the last price. So this is the default setting, is it'll move your stop loss to the last price. So if you move your stop loss wherever the last price is, that's where the market is trading. So that means your stop loss gets hit and filled instantly. So that'll just flatten out your trade using a stop loss. So what this is going to do, what this trailing rule is going to do, is after 30 minutes, if your stop loss is still open after 30 minutes, that means, if your stop loss is still open, that means your trade is still live and still open. So after 30 minutes, then this trailing rule is just going to move your stop loss to the last price. And the last price is wherever the market's trading. So like right now, our last price is at 21.54. That's where the market's trading right now, 21.54 or 21.52. And so this trailing rule will just move your stop loss to wherever the market last traded, and that'll get your stop loss filled instantly. So if you don't want to move your stop loss there, you could do the same thing with your profit target. We could build the same rule with your profit target. So we could say, if our profit target doesn't get hit within 30 minutes, then again, move the profit target to the last price. So we could just put our profit target wherever the market's trading and hope that the profit target gets hit. So, all right. I wouldn't recommend that you do both. You should decide either you want to move your stop loss to wherever the last price is to get your stop loss hit, or move your profit target. I wouldn't move both there at the same time. I know you might get some weird behaviors. I'm thinking it's probably okay, but I would say it's probably just as a general rule, it's probably better to pick your profit target. Pick your profit target or your stop loss. Just move one of them. Don't move both of them to the last price. So I'll get rid of the trailing rule for the profit target there. All right. So let's see. All right, so there's one way, so we could, apply an exit after after so many minutes. And let's see if there's another way we can do this. Let's see in the trigger on. Let's see in the trigger on. We have a BloodHound signal. This would be a more complicated way of closing out your trade at a specific time. But again, you can see here again we can set up. We can use a BloodHound signal to exit a trade as well inside your trailing rules. All right, so inside of our stop loss trailing rules, I could use a BloodHound signal that was, you want to make sure it's a BloodHound signal that's set up to exit you at the right time. So I could use a BloodHound signal in a trailing rule that could also move my stop loss to the last price, right? So this trailing rule, setting this up, would effectively do the same thing as just using an exit signal template here in BloodHound, right? This is a much easier, cleaner way to close your position out versus creating a trailing rule. So, but there's two ways to go about it. Let's see. Yeah, so those are the only other options that I can see. Yeah, those would be your two options there. So, yeah, I would really discount this using a BloodHound signal in your trailing rules. So I would discount that one. So you can use a timed delay to close the position out, or you could use a BloodHound signal here. And oops, looks like I canceled that by accident. All right, I think that does it. Let me see if there's any questions on this. And so Craig is asking if you wanted to open a trade at the market open straight away. For example, the open of trading. Whenever the market opens, exactly when the market opens, can this be done? Yes, Craig, and basically that's kind of what this BloodHound logic template is doing. So the question came in at to the question that I was given gave an example of 9:32, and of course that time can be adjusted to be whatever time you want it to be. You just got to go in and make the adjustments in BloodHound to change it from 9:32 to 9:30 a.m. if you want to. So, here's an interesting question. Craig is asking, can you change accounts on the fly in BlackBird, like you can in the ChartTrader? So there's a big difference between the ChartTrader and BlackBird. So the ChartTrader, right, it's an add-on to your chart, whereas BlackBird is a strategy. So there's different requirements between an add-on to the chart versus a strategy. And so simple answer is no. Nope, NinjaTrader does not allow you to change the account on the fly for a strategy, unfortunately. That would be kind of cool if you could, but NinjaTrader does not allow that. So you'll notice here that your account settings is inside of the general section here, right? So this is a NinjaTrader section here, and you'll notice right now it's grayed out, so I can't change anything, right? When you have a strategy enabled, NinjaTrader does not allow you to change the settings on the fly. That's why they're grayed out. So if you want to change your account on the fly, you have to disable your strategy, then change your account, and then re-enable your strategy. So yeah, for some reason NinjaTrader doesn't allow you to change the account for your strategy on the fly. So, here's a good question. Can you run more than one BlackBird strategy on a chart once a strategy has been initiated? Yes, absolutely. You can run as many strategies on a chart as your computer can handle. So that is one thing that's interesting. Is NinjaTrader hasn't placed any limitations on the number of strategies you can run on a chart. So let me add, I'll add 3 Blackbirds on here. So there we go, 3 Blackbirds, and they're all enabled. And let's click OK. And you'll see it'll get a bit messy, but there we go. I got 3 Blackbirds all running on the same chart. So yeah, NinjaTrader has not placed any kind of limitations on that. So so again, really that's the number of indicators or the number of strategies you can place on a chart is controlled by NinjaTrader. Those are basically NinjaTrader charting limitations. And so currently, as far as I know, there is no limit to the number of indicators or strategies you can put on a chart. So actually, I've never tested this, but I bet there is a limit. It's probably 255. Knowing programming, knowing a little bit about how NinjaTrader's programmed, there's probably a limit of 255 indicators and 255 strategies that you can run on a chart. But that's just a guess. I've never tested that theory. So, of course, that would be more indicators or more strategies than you should ever need to have on a chart. Let's see. Okay, there we go. Got those cleared off. Jeff is asking, are the trades isolated from each other for each instance of BlackBird? So technically, yes, they are. So the example would be that if you have say if you have two Blackbirds running on, really it's 2 Blackbirds running on the same instrument. It doesn't matter if they're on different charts, but if you have 2 Blackbirds running on the same instrument, right? So you could have Blackbird running on a YM 1-minute chart, and you could have Blackbird running on a YM, say, 5-range chart, right? You have 2 Blackbirds running on the same instrument. So, so technically speaking, inside of NinjaTrader, these Blackbirds are running separately. NinjaTrader will keep all of your strategies separated from each other. So strategies cannot communicate with each other, right? So let's take a look at my control center here, right? We can see I have 2 Blackbirds running. So, the one Blackbird has no idea that the other Blackbird exists, right? So strategies cannot see other strategies. They have no idea that other strategies exist. So from that standpoint, each strategy is running in its own memory space. It's kind of running in its own little bubble. But on but the practical answer to that is that the exchange, basically your broker and the exchange do not allow you to open a long position and short position at the same time on the same instrument, right? They cancel each other, right? So from a practical standpoint, if I've got one BlackBird taking a long trade and I've got another BlackBird taking a short trade on the same instrument, they're going to cancel each other. All right, so from a practical, again, a technical, but the practical application of that is that you're flat. However, your positions, or I should say your profit target and stop loss will be left open. So technically you're flat. The exchange considers you as flat. However, your profit and stop loss are left out there, as orders to get filled, and which gets a little messy to understand. But the bottom line is, once your profit or stop loss gets hit for each of the BlackBird strategies, eventually you will go flat again. So it does all work itself out at the end, but while the trade is live, it will get kind of messy. So, yeah. That's kind of as far as I can go into it. If you really want to get into the nuts and bolts of running two strategies that might be fighting against each other, really you should talk to your broker about exactly how the exchange handles that, and how your basically how your broker handles that. And well, it's not really your broker handling it, it really is how the exchange handles it. And only your broker is qualified to discuss those kind of complex topics with you. So yeah, so from beyond what I've said, I'd say contact your broker if you really want to get, if you have any more kind of technical, detailed questions about the nuts and bolts of, having two systems trade against each other. Yeah. Let's see. Craig is asking, would it be best to just open more charts? I would, from a technical standpoint, no, but again, from a practical standpoint, being a human being and being able to comprehend better as to what's going on, right? Charting is a very visual aspect. So to be able to visualize clearly what's going on, for me, I would want to have separate charts open. I wouldn't want, for me, it would get confusing to have two strategies running on the chart at the same time, because I would have no idea which strategy has the trade open, right? So like if, I would have no idea which BlackBird actually has the position open right now. There's no way to tell, right? A trade flag is a trade flag. Yeah, well, there is a way to tell, but it'd be very difficult. From that standpoint, it'd be very confusing running two strategies on the chart. So I would say, yes, having a second chart open would, obviously, it's much clearer to you. You can recognize instantly that there's only one, you could recognize instantly what positions are coming from what, which BlackBird. So, if you really insist on running two BlackBirds on the same chart, then what you could do, the way you could tell the difference between the BlackBird strategies. So let's say I've got two strategies running, right? And both of my strategies are using a 10-tick profit target and a 10-tick stop loss. Then what I could do is I could put a custom name in here. So I'll just say profit target from strategy A, 10 tick. So I could make my own kind of custom name there, right? So I'll call this one like a stop loss, and again, strategy A, and it's a 10 tick stop loss, right? So I could put a custom name in there. I could put a custom name in one. I'll open up the other one so you'll see which one? And yeah, there we go. Sorry, I was a little confused there. Right. So the other BlackBird, you can see it has a different naming convention, right? So you can see the name is blank, so it's just using the default name of profit target, OCO. So if I go long one and I go short the other, right, we can look at the flags and we can see the flag names are different, right? So I have a profit target from strategy A up here, and down here I got just profit target with the default name, so I could use the naming, I could name the order flags differently so I could tell which is which. But I guess personally, to me that, having to read the trade flags is time consuming and still allows for some confusion. So I prefer to have, strategies on separate charts, so just to keep things completely separated. Yeah, interesting enough, there you go. You can see I got two trades in opposite directions, and let's take a look at the positions. So there you go. You can see my positions is zero positions, right? So that's what NinjaTrader is reporting, is 0 positions, because as far as the exchange is concerned, you're flat. And so let's close out one of these. Let's see, one of them is in a profitable position. Yeah, here we go. So let me move the market up and we'll get this profit target hit. Okay, profit target is hit. And now you can see NinjaTrader reports that, now we're in a short trade, because all we have left open is the short position now. So now if I pull the market down, I'll move the stop loss up. So yeah, so there you go. So there's a little example of what happens if you have two strategies trading the same instrument. Okay guys, hey, have a good rest of your day. If I don't see you tomorrow in the BloodHound Workshop, then have a great weekend, and I'll see you guys next week. And yeah, keep your questions coming. Email them in if you like. All right. Okay guys, bye-bye. See you next time.